accord with one's self. It means feeling free and volitional in one's actions. When autonomous, people are fully willing to do what they are doing, and they embrace the activity with a sense of interest and commitment. Their actions emanate from their true sense of self, so they're being authentic. In contrast, to be controlled means to act because one is being pressured. When controlled, people act without a sense of personal endorsement. Their behavior is not an expression of the self, for the self has been subjugated to the controls. In this condition, people can reasonably be described as alienated. The issues of autonomy and authenticity, as opposed to control and alienation, are relevant in all aspects of life. They are sometimes manifest dramatically, with societal implications, and other times subtly, with only personal ramifications. A man who resists the pressures to succumb to price fixing because he personally believes it's wrong is acting autonomously and living authentically. But if he succumbs to the pressures, and in the process brings serious harm to thousands, and adds to the negative national tone, he's being controlled and inauthentic. A woman who serves on the school board with a full sense of volition because she believes in its importance is being autonomous and authentic. But if, in spite of not wanting to, she serves because she thinks it looks good to others, she too is being controlled and inauthentic. To the extent that a behavior is not autonomous, it is controlled, and there are two types of controlled behavior. The first type is compliance, and it's compliance that authoritarian solutions hope to accomplish. Compliance means doing what you are told to do because you are told to do it. I remember years ago when the television networks began the practice of following a presidential address with the dissenting views of opposing senators or congressmen. A friend of mine remarked, "I don't think it's right for them to do that." "What do you mean?" I replied. "Dissenting opinions deserve to be heard." "But he's the president," my friend protested. Although such reverence for the president seems almost quaint today, the comment epitomizes the compliant attitude. Noted author Charles Reich spoke about the nameless authority. This was the authority firmly lodged in my friend's ideology, leading him to think and behave compliantly. The other response to control is defiance, which means to do the opposite of what you're expected to do just because you are expected to do it. Compliance and defiance exist in an unstable partnership, representing the complementary responses to control. Where there is one, there is also the tendency for the other, even though one or the other is typically dominant within an individual. Thus we find some people who are highly compliant, always seeming willing to do what the situation demands. And we find others who seem to defy all the demands and prods of authorities. But even with these people, where one response to control dominates, the tendency for the other will still be there and could come out in subtle ways. A subordinate who is outwardly obedient to all the boss's demands might, for example, engage in secret sabotage as retaliation. Rebellion is the outward manifestation of people's tendency to defy controls, and it coexists uneasily with conformity, which is the expression of their tendency to comply. Authoritarians of our era have relied on control, and they have gotten a healthy dose of rebellion along with the conformity they had hoped for. But what is even worse, and what has gone largely unrecognized, is that the price of compliance is itself very steep. That price, profound alienation, with all of its ramifications, is detailed in this book. Authenticity necessitates behaving autonomously, for it means being the author of one's actions, acting in accord with one's true inner self. The key to understanding autonomy, authenticity, and self is the psychological process called integration. Various aspects of a person's psyche differ in the degree to which they have been integrated or brought into harmony with the person's innate core self. Only when the processes that initiate and regulate an action are integrated aspects of oneself would the behavior be autonomous and the person authentic. It is in this sense that to be authentic is to be true to oneself.